Welcome back to Business Success. I'm Chloe James for RFI Group. Bridget Loudon was kicking some serious goals from the various early stages of her career. So, what makes you step away from that level of achievement and the safety of one of the world's largest consultancies, it was Bain, and bring your own unique offering to the fore? That's what I wanted to know. So, she is here to tell us about it. Bridget, welcome to Business Success. Really great to have you on.
Thanks for having me, Chloe.
Expert360, I just thought, I sort of spoke about it in the opener, but if you could just explain exactly what your business is, sort of who you are, what you do, and when you created it.
Sure. So, Expert360 is quite simple, really. It's an online platform that allows businesses to find and engage top talent for project work. So predominantly freelancers, independent contractors, and interim executives.
Wow, amazing. And you started the business in 2013. What sort of made you step away from Bain Company, a massive consultancy where you were doing some brilliant things? Did you see a gap there?
Yeah, so I think Bain Company is an amazing company, and I think there's always a level of trepidation stepping out of a firm like that. But look, my co-founder Emily and I, so we actually founded the business together in 2013, and we worked together at Bain Co. And look, I think what we saw was that businesses were increasingly needing to be able to bring in people on an on-demand basis, so to execute project work, so freelancer, basically additional expertise, capability or capacity, and that need was growing. At the same time, in Australia and globally, there's this huge and growing pool of people like you and I who are wanting to freelance, we're wanting to work for ourselves, and by 2025, that number is estimated to be about 40% of the workforce on demand. And so we thought, well, can we create a platform, can we create the infrastructure that allows businesses to connect with those individuals and vice versa.
Absolutely, because it's about the flexibility piece, isn't it? I mean, people are wanting those flexible lives and the opportunity to perhaps do the freelance stuff, as you mentioned. How does the platform actually work? So do people, put their details on there, sort of the businesses aside, and then also, obviously, the consultants that you have on there?
Yeah, absolutely. It's quite simple, really. From a business perspective, they will sign up, create an account, post a project, so stipulate broadly what they need done. It can be quite detailed or it can be quite high level, whether they want to pay by the day or, pay for a specific piece of work to be done. They might put a few notes about the type of person, and then they'll post that project. And look, for a standard project, within several hours, you will have 1, 2, if not 3, suitable, vetted consultants who have expressed interest in that project and ready to be interviewed and potentially subsequently do the project.
Brilliant. So do you vet all the consultants that come onto the platform?
We do.
Wow.
That's the part where Expert360 we are probably higher touch is upfront in making sure we have excellent quality talent. So we've got about 10,000 professionals on there now, and
in Australia. Only, or
about 65% of them are in Australia. Wow. The rest are mainly Southeast Asia and some in the US as well.
Okay.
And then once they get onto the platform, it's very much then about making sure their profile is up to date and receiving great ratings and reviews from clients. So there's that great level of transparency that we want to create in the labour market, so to speak.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that the technology piece that you speak about is really important, and I like to talk about growth on the show, and I guess growth is a big opportunity for you having the technical platform that really can go globally, your proposition.
Yeah, it's I would say infinitely scalable, but it's scalable to the size of the market. So we as a business grow about 20% every month.
Wow.
Which I think is about the growth rate of a newborn child.
That's a pretty impressive.
So yeah, and still 3 years in. So that's very exciting for us.
So 3 years in, when you started this business, was it Emily, your co-founder? Mm-hmm. What were some of those big challenges when you were starting out? Did you both sit down, write up a business plan? How did it all come together?
I think it was a series of conversations. We were working together actually, and I think there was a slow realization about the opportunity that was at hand, and number of wines, coffees, and I left Bain, and then Emily left sometime later, and it really just started the two of us with our laptops. It's quite incredible what you can do if you have an idea and want to quickly get it up and running and test it, and then we've sort of grown from there and now have about a team of about 40 people in Sydney.
Wow. What, you're and Emily, you're your co-founder, and I guess you run the business together. Do you have different strengths and weaknesses to each other, or are you quite similar characters, would you say?
That's a good question. The answer might vary depending on who you ask.
Sure, I'm asking you. So.
Look, I think on paper we probably look quite similar, but we're really we're quite complementary. I think Emily, and this is purely by luck. I think that it happened this way. You know, Emily was a former lawyer. I was an entrepreneur before I joined Bain. So I guess I think quite big picture. Spent a lot of time on our strategy and out and about speaking with clients, with the press, and really focusing on growth. Whereas Emily's, you know, she makes it happen. She's focused on execution, on understanding at a really granular level what does success look like, and how do we measure and manage that?
Yeah, and the operations of things. I think they sound like really complementary skills. Have you enjoyed? Well, I've got two questions. One, did you always see yourself starting a business? I know you're a serial entrepreneur. And then the other question, I guess, on top of that is, do you enjoy that you've done that with another person as opposed to on your own? Yeah.
Did I see myself as an entrepreneur? Actually, I think I was 9 when I started my first business.
Okay.
So it's sort of been
I love
blood,
these stories.
You know? I've always loved and got a great thrill out of creating something out of nothing, or seeing an opportunity and capitalising upon it. And I think as I get older, the stakes just get bigger, the opportunities get bigger, the visions get bigger. So I hope that answers that question.
It does, absolutely.
On the am I having fun? Was that
well, no. Just would you always have thought that you would have gone into business with another person? Is that something you'd advise?
Yeah. I didn't really think about it before it happened, but you know, I couldn't do this without Emily, and I hope she would say the same. It's, you know, running a business at the level at which we are is it's really hard. You've got to work really hard, and you've got to make lots of very tough decisions. There are no easy answers, and so having someone who you respect to the end of the earth, you trust in their judgment and their capability to help you along that journey has been valuable.
That's ideal. Yeah. I think is there any? It sounds to me like you've probably been given some pretty great advice along the way in business. Would you like to sort of cite any of that advice that you've been given, and perhaps by who?
Oh, sure. I think look, there's no one in particular, I think, that has given me advice that has been completely game changing. However, I think all of my big decisions have been driven by a group of people around me who've helped me make those. I think with Expert360, you know, we've got an amazing board. Dimitri Alamov and Sean Hogan are our other 2 directors, and they help us solve challenges on a monthly, big challenges on a monthly basis. You know, my close family and friends have been really important in that as well, in being soundboards. And I think I would just say, surround yourself with just high quality individuals from day one to help you along the journey.
Talking about surrounding yourself with these high quality individuals, as you mentioned, you've built a team of about 40. How important is like the culture that you've created within the business, people that you have in, and then obviously you're sort of citing all these different consultants all over the world at the moment. So what do you look for when you're building a team?
Yeah, that's a great observation and question, Chloe. I completely underestimated the importance of character, culture, values in building our company, making decisions, and in particular in building out the team. So I think in the early days, you know, we were very focused on skills. You know, what have people done?
What's on the paper?
Yeah, exactly.
And you need more than that.
Exactly right. And I think now we are far more focused on who they are. You know, what drives them, rather than what they've done. What are the choices that they've made and why? Because, you know, with Expert360, I think our ability to impact society, to grow our organisation at a global scale will be directly driven by 2 things. One, the quality of the people that we get into our organisation, and two, the quality of the support that we provide for them to be great.
Yeah.
And to be happy and high performing.
And to flourish within your business, because then that just brings your business from strength to strength onto growth.
Yes.
Where to next for the business? Where do you see it going over the next few years? Got some big dreams?
Yeah, look, I think we've from day one, we've had global ambitions. You know, we've got quite a set sort of 2020 vision, and that's about being the #1 global consulting and freelancer marketplace at that higher in the white collar talent space. And you know, we haven't had any major pivots or shifts from that. It's just really doing more of the same, doing it better.
Great, fantastic. Yeah. I sort of have to wrap things up, as I often do. I wanted to just quickly ask you about the importance of sort of health and wellness and mindfulness. I like to ask that on the show, and what you do in your personal life that sees you operating at this level that you do. Yeah,
sure. So look, I would like to say that I meditate every morning, similar to Nick, but you know, mental health, physical health, I think is extremely important to being high performing. I would like to say I get 8 hours sleep and have yoga and SI for breakfast, but running a business and growing at this pace does take its toll. But look, you just always got to step back and make sure that the time that you do have for yourself is nourishing. It's revitalizing, it's energizing. It comes back to those quality people. For me, it's being able to go for runs a few times a week, having a few glasses of wine.
Yep. All about balance.
Exactly right. And being with good friends and family. So I don't have any silver bullets on the health front. All I'll say is, you know, I manage it and know what works for me.
I mean, it sounds like you're doing some amazing things. You've had some amazing achievements. 2014 Women's Agenda Emerging Entrepreneur, Top 25 Emerging Entrepreneurs, Top 50 Australian Female Entrepreneurs Under 40. I did sort of want to touch on that. What sort of a leader are you that's sort of seen you getting to that place, and where to next?
I think in terms of what type of a leader am I think, I mean, I still think I'm a young leader. I'm still on a journey of determining, you know, I'm a leader now of a 40 FTE business, but, you know, we'll soon be 120 by Q3 next year. So I think I'm on a journey of proactively deciding what is the kind of leader that I want to be. I think I would say I'm probably big picture. I think big. I think I've high expectations of what we can achieve and of the team and the individuals themselves. Challenging. I hope they would say I like to have fun.
Yeah. Well, look, listen, I think you're doing some amazing things. Thank you so much for coming on the show. I can't wait to see what Expert360 does next. It's a brilliant business, and in a few years you've done some amazing things, so congratulations. That's it from me at Business Success for another night. I hope you enjoyed tonight's show and hearing from a couple of pretty impassioned individuals about how they've achieved such heights. Have a great night, and I look forward to seeing you next week. Good night.